Today on the bench we have this tool, DeWalt DCMPP568. You've guessed it, this is a cutter. Let's see what's wrong with it. Okay, everything is wrong with it. Battery is full, but it's not moving at all. Let's disassemble and see what can be inside. Okay, what do we have there? Okay, so this is the security, double security. As you can see, there are two switches that are there that pilot whether or not it can move. We then have a small control board full of resin, and we have our motor, 19.8 volt motor. Okay, and then we still have another board there that is probably checking something, checking whether or not this has moved. Yeah, because all that is coming back to the board itself. So there must be some kind of control of the blade itself via this board, because I think it would not be there if not. Quite interesting, to be honest. I haven't opened one of those before. I think it's looks nice. So I'm going to start with the obvious. As always, starting with the switches. Now, how do I test those switches? Because I say that, but I don't even, they go to the board and the board is fully potted. So just gonna try to activate those switches manually, just in case, for whatever reason, they were not doing it properly. Maybe I didn't see that this was on before. Okay. When you do this, you press this. Yeah, must have been there before, but I haven't seen that there was the LED that was coming up. Part of the electricity is going somewhere and then gets lost, or something is not working. So let's try to disassemble all that. Just try to be a bit methodical for once. To somewhere, I will try to remove that one. Everything is... I guess this is a nylon threaded nut, so it's difficult to remove. Okay, maybe I will leave it for now. What I want to test, in fact, is the motor. Is the motor running, yes or no? I wanted to extract it so it would be easier, but I can try to put some probes there with some voltage and see whether or not there is any kind of movement that is going on. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I put my power supply to 19-ish something with 1 amp. So let's see if we have any kind of movement by pushing that in. Nothing at all. It's not even drawing any kind of juice. Could it be the motor that is really dead? I'm going to measure what the motor is getting when it's plugged with a battery to see whether or not, if it's getting the proper voltage, then it means that this one is dead. It's not usual to see this, but this can happen, of course. Usually you have more a fault on the electronics or trigger or whatever, but motor do fail too. So multimeter in DC. So I have now everything that is plugged. Let's see. You saw that this was going up 18, then it went back. It's really trying to get something. Definitely there is some kind of action that is there, but at first, because this is coming up, but it's even getting some on the motor, 18 or something, 8 volt, and then it stops. Okay, put it in a vise, and I held the nut, so now it's moving. Of course, it was underneath. So we were I was wondering why it was not moving. Now I know. This part is moving fine without any issue. So it's not a mechanical issue that would block the motor to the motor itself. I guess I can see where the issue is. If you look down there, this is what should be holding brushes. We see the copper part that is touching the shaft of the rotor, but there is no brush at all on that one. This part inside is where there should be a brush. It is making contact and allowing the motor to turn, but apparently it's really completely gone on that side, and the same on the other side. We can see there is a hole there in the middle, and this is where you should have your brush. So we have a dead motor. Easy way would be to try to order a new one. Not sure if they are available individually. I will check. But of course, another way would be to go down and try to remove that upper part and try to fix that problem. I don't see if the shaft is in a good condition or not, because if it is not, then it's useless to try to open it. But okay, for the sake of it, I will try to open it just to know if this is doable. If I can't do it like that, if you have the same issue, well, you will know at least if it is easy or not easy. Maybe on that one, I see it's should be not so terrible. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs. So what I will do first is try to bend them back. I don't want to damage too much that part. I think we can replace the bottom part, but the top part is going to be difficult. So that's why I'm taking a bit of my time, trying to find the best way to open it without, completely damaging it. I'm just thinking if I bend that part, maybe I can get, past the tab, but even that, just like that. Okay. I'm a bit surprised. Okay, I was not expecting that at all. So good. This is exactly what I wanted to get to. Okay, so good tip. You just go, you push, you press, maybe you remove a couple of tabs before, and then you're in. I don't know how I'm gonna put something back with those tabs being where they are, but I can't complain. This is what I wanted to do, and I got there so much faster than expected. I broke that, but that was anyway something I was expecting. This is where the brushes are held, and this part should be removable easily. I mean, more easily than the tabs than we had before. Let's take the magic plier. So get those pliers, they are the ones that that make the job. The shaft is not looking too bad. Maybe not the perfect shape, but still okay. And then we have our brush holder that I bent, but still, even if I didn't bend them, you see that they have no brush inside. So brush holder without brush is no good. So I've looked into my magic box of spare parts. Let's see if we can find something that could be that. Already in terms of size, this one seems a bit too large. Yeah, way too large compared to that one. Okay, too bad. So not that one. This was for an RS775, so the biggest. I have another one that is big, and I have a small one there. Small one. Yes. Hey, look at that. Exactly the same size. So this is a 5 something. That must be one for a 550, if I'm not mistaken. So you have different size of motors, 2 or 3 size that you find most commonly. And that's why I got those type of replacement. so that I can try to fix motor that I would have this way. So now we will put the shaft in the middle with those two brushes that will be against it. If I manage to do that. Then afterwards, thought it was the right size, but it's not. I mean, it was smaller than the other one, but just a tad too small. It's missing like 1 or 2 millimeters. That's it. So it's not gonna be okay. I have to find another one.
So maybe a few words on those brushless motor. As I mentioned before, there are several types that you usually find into power tools. Most probably at some stage you will cross RS550, and also you find device like RS750, 775. These are really the 2-3 that I see the most. That one, to be specific, was an RS650. And this one, you cannot find any type of brush holder replacement for that motor, or not easily. And I did try and did look to get one of those, but I could not manage, and not even a replacement motor, and I could not find it on any platform. So manufacturers like DeWalt, Milwaukee and others are using that type of motors, but either they are fully custom to them, or they are really rare. So whatever the reason, whatever there is, those are difficult to come by. So if you do have an issue like that, you most probably have to go the same route I did, which is to buy the official spare part so that you can fix your tool.
2,000 years later.
So after a bit of time, I did receive my replacement part. So replacement number, I will put the link in the description. It's NA147845, replacement for the motor. So let's go and reassemble this one. We just need to remove this plastic part that is there. There are some screws under the grease. One thing is good, it's coming with the gear itself. You don't have to reinstall that. That's always nice. Let's try to reassemble the little puzzle. Okay, let's put a bit of grease in there. Okay, they're in. To help you get it in, you should activate this part. Let's put those inside. Yeah. I put it on the wrong side. This should be the opposite. Red on red, black on non-red. We can see that there is a little magnet there. So that's probably the one that is making, giving information about where it is to the board. Then board gives it to that control. So before moving further, I will put a bit of grease there. Just a little bit. I will put this at the end and we'll put a bit of grease there too. So let's finish by putting that in. Okay, almost ready. Labels. Good. Now it's time to test. Take my finger off of it. Perfect. So that's it for this one. As you could see, easy fix because we just did a swap of the motor. Maybe I could have tried to put brushes on those and hope for the best and try to put it back. Maybe. But on the other hand, I also bent that part when I put it out. I don't know. There might be really better ways to do than the one I did to save the motor itself. But you know, on that one, we can be happy that the spare for the motor is available. It's just a motor. In terms of cost, it was something like 25 €. So not so expensive to resurrect such a tool, which is worth 4 times that. If ever another one comes through, I will check how to make it maybe better. But in the meantime, this one is working and that's good. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you learned something by watching it or just got entertained seeing me struggle. Please leave a like. If you have not subscribed, you should do it right now. And I will see you soon in another video. Thank you very much. Bye.